Hey everybody, Slayer Holfin here for a match recap, PBL Season 3, Week 2 against Icy Coco or Regi and the Duke Blue Devoirs. So he ended up bringing a team fairly similar to what I thought. I thought Coco, Entei, Mega Glade, and Landorus T would come for sure. Um, for the last two Pokemon, I thought it'd be two Pokemon within the group of Fortress Snorlax, Mantine and Greninja. I actually said in the team builder I thought Mantine and Greninja would be coming, but he opted to go for the other two, so that's okay. So if you didn't watch the team builder, basically got Scolipede to Baton Pass speed into 5 threats. Most of them have a little bit of setup or something like that, and the idea is just to Baton Pass into those, then hopefully they'll be able to do a little bit of work. It's a little bit memey, a little bit heat, but see if we can make it work. If you catch your opponent off guard, I think it really can do work. So let's just go ahead and get on into the game here. I lead off with Sepsis, my Scolipede, and he leads off with the Fortress right here. So I'm just going to go ahead and go for a sub right away. I'm not sure exactly what he wants to do. He could switch out. If he switches out, then that's great. I get a free sub up. If he wants to go for a like rocks or something like that, I can get a sub up. So I'm just going to go for a sub, see what he wants to do. If I can get a free sub up and get that speed boost, then we're going to be in a really good spot. So go for the sub. He ends up going for rocks, which is great for us because we're behind a sub, we get the speed boost, and now I have an option of either protecting and try to get a second speed boost up so I can just make sure I outspeed Scarfers and stuff for whatever I pass into, or I can just pass right away. And I thought about this for a while, and I wasn't sure if he'd have like a Volt Switch. I figured that he'd probably want to switch out here into something like Entei, and I really didn't want to protect and let him get the switch out to Entei, and then let him fire off a Sacred Fire for free. Um, and so I thought, +1 speed, as long as he doesn't have a Scarfer like Entei or Lando, which Lando can definitely be a Scarfer, but I figured, well, if that's the case, then I'll get that intel and it'll be fine. So I just go ahead and Baton Pass here. Now, Baton Pass, I look at his team, and one thing that can put in a ton of work is Komao. And this Fortress is a really good mon for me to come into with Komao because if he wants a Volt Switch, that's going to do almost nothing. If he wants to Gyro Ball, that does literally nothing because I have Bulletproof and I'm immune to that. And I can just go ahead and set up a Belly Drum right here and start to go to work. So go right out into the Komao. He goes for the Volt Switch. We resist that. Doesn't break the sub. He's going to go out into Tapu Koko, and I'm just going to go for the Belly Drum. He is going to go ahead and Dazzling Gleam, break my sub, but you can see from the first thing, you can see that he's Life Orb. I did speed creep this thing, so we outspeed Tapu Koko at +1, and you can see right there that the Belly Drum goes before him, so we knew he wasn't Scarfed even before we saw the Life Orb. And so I'm just going to go ahead and fire off an EQ here. He goes into Fortress. That is not a check. 70%. Right here I am packing the Flamethrower, so I'll just go for that. I figured that'd be a good move just in case he tries to go into something like a Lando to predict an Earthquake. Flamethrower killed this thing. I brought it specifically for the Fortress, and it could catch the Lando for a little bit of damage if he decided he wanted to go into that. So Fortress goes down, goes into Lando, intimidates me, fire off a Dragon Claw, makes it really smart. Never mind. He goes into Snorlax, and I drop that thing. So Oko goes back into Landorus, gets the Intimidate drop, goes into Tapu Koko, expecting the Dragon Claw again, and that's exactly what happens. He's immune to this. I'm just going to let this play. So then I go for EQ for the Tapu Koko. He goes into Landorus, and so I know that he can kind of go back and forth and do this a little bit more, and the thing that I have to keep in mind is that I have Normalium Z, and I can pull off the Z Belly Drum if I get a prediction right. So right here, I know I can still do a lot of damage to the Landorus. And so I just want to fire off another Dragon Claw, thinking that if he's going to continue to do this, I can just try to make a prediction, go for the Z Belly Drum, get myself up to full, drop myself to 50, be at +6, and then we can continue to play this game. And he has to get the 50-50 right every single time to avoid this threat. So just going to fire off a Dragon Claw here as he actually stays in and we manage to O-code the Landorus. So that's huge for us. I'm not really seeing what he's going to do against me now. He goes out to Mega Glade, click Dragon Claw, 100%. That's gone. Tapu Koko comes out, fire off an EQ. Bop, that thing's gone. And now he has Entei, maybe has E-Speed or something. Looks like he's shiny, could be banded. But I just go for Earthquake and kill that thing. So we're able to pick up a 6-0 clean sweep with Kommo-o. Great start to the season. Great win for us. I did not think that the Scolipede baton passing would work as well as it did, but we ended up getting a really great lead matchup against that Fortress. So good game to Regi. I think that definitely caught him off guard. When I was playtesting against Frozen, this is actually what happened the very first game before then Frozen kind of realized what the strategy was and adapted, and I lost to him. So I think that this is something that if you're not prepared from the start, it's really difficult. It's really easy to get in the back right away. So I think that's what happened. Icy's a good player. I don't expect this to happen again because once you kind of show that you're not afraid to bring a baton passing Scolipede into something like a belly drum Pokemon, I think that's definitely in people's minds and they'll prep for that well. So glad we're able to use it effectively this time, and in the future we'll probably have to get a little bit more creative with the sets we bring and try to bring something that isn't quite so kind of tricky. So anyway, thanks for watching the video. Leave a comment, let me know what you think, and I'm gonna get out of here. See ya.